It's universally accepted that the worst place to finish in sports is in the runner-up position.
But at the Olympic Games, the top 3 competitors get a medal and something to remember their Olympic glory.
Yep. And for those who finish in 4th place, though, there's no medal, champagne shower, or historic accomplishment. Ben Ferguson knows that exact feeling. In 2018, Ben Ferguson was more than 5,000 miles away from his home in Bend at the top of the Phoenix Snow Park halfpipe in Pyeongchang, South Korea.
Ben Ferguson, first games. When he snowboards, he does his own thing.
Far from home, but in his element, on his snowboard in the halfpipe.
Snowboarded in the halfpipe way more than I ever have and way more than I ever will ever again. And was able to make the team, which was amazing in itself. Like, that was insane.
While making the team was a great accomplishment, Ben had a legitimate shot at an Olympic medal.
Just being at the top, nervous, so nervous, insanely. And then dropping in, you kind of go blank, and at the bottom, you're on your feet still, and it's like, oh my gosh, that was insane.
An opportunity for an Olympic medal, which was the result of 16 years of hard work, which started at Mount Bachelor.
My first experience, I was 6 years old. My dad moved us out here because he loved the mountains and wanted to experience the mountains. He was a snowboarder and took me up when I was 6 years old, and that was the first time I ever did it. It was rough, you know. Took some tumbles, but been doing it ever since then.
Ben started competing at 8 years old, and by the age of 10 was a national champion and a sponsored rider for Burton.
I was pretty young, and even like at that age, like we started getting paid to snowboard at a pretty young age. So kind of ever since then, just like stuck to it and slowly built over the years.
Something he built into a 2012 Youth Olympic gold medal as a 16-year-old.
When you get to the teenage years, you get a little lost when you're this little kid and there's all this hype around you. You know, it's big things, and then you get into the teenage years and it gets a little more competitive and it gets a little harder, and you just kind of got to ride it through and just continue to have fun on your snowboard.
Ben would become an X Games regular, competing 5 years in a row before the Olympics between 2014 and 2018, earning 2 podium finishes.
X Games was always a big ball of nerves. Pretty much any contest you do, I'm insanely nervous.
The nerves were at an all-time high, though, in 2018.
The re-entry is proper. Switch, double alley-oop, backside rodeo, puts it down.
After stomping his final run, Ferguson, sitting in 7th place, awaited his score.
90.75. It's 4th place for Ferguson.
4th place, I will say this right now, 4th place is the worst. You know, because you do really, really well, but you don't do well enough to, you know, get on the podium and you don't get that champagne, you know, and that's a special feeling.
Following the Olympics, Ben would compete one more time in halfpipe at the 2019 X Games before retiring from the event. Ferguson now is focused on free riding in natural terrain.
I never started snowboarding or never started even riding halfpipe snowboarding just to be a halfpipe snowboarder. I was always just a snowboarder. And to me, the dudes who are real snowboarders and who have been doing it for so long, they're not stuck in a halfpipe. They're chasing mountains. They're doing other stuff. They're riding powder. They're like experiencing the sport for what it is, being amongst the culture and really enjoying it. Wow. So that's always how I've wanted to be. Even when I was doing the halfpipe contest, I still tried to ride as much powder as I could, try to like not just be a halfpipe snowboarder, did not want to put myself in that box, and I did that whole thing, and it was a good stepping stone onto filming and what's next for me, and that is chasing mountains and riding powder.